During a recent livestream, I drew Springtrap from Five Nights at Freddy's as 4 different Springtrap animatronics. I made it into one awesome creature combined into one really cool drawing, and we're going to start off with Springtrap. Each panel and each iteration of the character is going to follow a very similar stylistic way of approaching the character. I'm going to basically do all of the artwork how I love to draw characters. And that's primarily by using thick, bold outlines, but lots of shading. And then I like to work color over the top. So as you can see, I'm adding lots of gray tones over the top, because that's when we add our color, it's just going to pop, and it's going to give us a base work for where we know all of our midtones need to be. So then when the color goes on top, and we can add our paint pens and color pencils or whatever medium you like to use, it's just going to be a great way to kind of give us an easy access to knowing where all the little shadows and highlights should be. But it's always good to have a little test page, as you can just see there, just to test the color to make sure it's the right color that you want. And as you're going to see, I'm going to use tons of different media here. It's not just going to be all alcohol markers. You're going to see some paint pens, some color pencil work. You're going to see a little bit of everything. Because in my streams, I like to showcase all of the different ways that at home you can create really cool images. In fact, in a new video coming out on Tuesday, I'm going to be drawing the Grinch, but I'm going to be doing so in 4 different mediums. You're going to see crayons, color pencils, alcohol markers, and paint pens, all to show you that you don't always need the best supplies to get something that looks really cool. But when we add them all together, that's how you can get a really cool creative image. I mean, just look at this Springtrap. It's just coming to life. It looks like the character that we know from the movies. Whenever I'm drawing anything that I want to draw strictly for myself, these are the ways I develop characters. I love to create characters that have tons of darks, lots of bright highlights. I love how they just kind of pop off the page, and this is how I create all of my artwork that I like to create for me. This is my approach, and if you join my lives that I like, or you can go back and see the previous recordings, you can get my step-by-step on how I am actually creating all of these in real time. And I wound up answering dozens and dozens of questions from the chat. It was a blast. I had a ton of fun communicating with you all during that process. With Springtrap complete, now we're going to head on over to Scraptrap. And as you can see, we're kind of following a general pattern here. First we got Springtrap, then we have his next iteration, Scraptrap, so you can kind of see where we're going and how each iteration is going to change slightly, not only with application, but how we draw the character. But once again, I'm going to stay tried and true to my method, which is starting off with my darkest darks and then adding lots of layers of gray underneath to develop all the midtones and highlights. I'm once again going to go over it with the color, but I also want to show because I want to give a sense of uniformity to the piece. Each section is going to be applied exactly the same way, and at the end, once again, it's going to be a really just unique, fun, cool image. Another thing that I like to showcase is that when I'm drawing this, I'm using lots of mid-tone colors first. So that way when we apply those mid-base colors across the entire image, we're going to carve back with our darks and our lights. And I usually use those for the color pencil work because that's where all the fun little fine details come into play. But the only way to achieve that is to have like a nice toned mid-tone canvas. This is something that a lot of ancient masters used to do. They would take a canvas and usually use a burnt sienna or a raw sienna as a nice mid-tone to stain the canvas. It wound up giving a nice cool or warm tint to the canvas depending upon the feel or the mood of the piece they were going to, but it also gets what's called getting the white off the page. And that's something that I think can help all young artists. When you're looking at a blank canvas or a blank piece of paper, sometimes it's a bit daunting. You can see the image in your head, but you sometimes have trouble translating that image out onto the canvas or onto the paper. By getting all of the color onto the paper, sometimes just throwing random color on, it helps the mind see the image better. And as you can guess, the next part we have is the Glitchtrap. And for this, I'm going to keep everything super smooth and super simple. The character is a lot more crisp than the other 3 iterations, obviously because it's a digital character, but not only that, it's not nearly destroyed like Burntrap or Springtrap or Scraptrap. So we want to make it a little bit more, well, lively. We want to give it a little bit more pop. We want the colors to really just jump off the page. So I did take an exceptionally long amount of time. But during the live stream, I kind of had to end it early because I can suffer sometimes from massive migraines. That's just due to screen time and just sometimes lack of sleep, but just in general, like when I get a migraine, it crushes me. And during this part of the live stream, yeah, it was pretty debilitating, so much so that I had to call it quits after 40 minutes because I just couldn't focus. I was at a point in my mind where I just couldn't for the life of me just grasp anything that I wanted to do. There always comes a point in any artwork that you do that you either fall in love or fall out of love with the piece, and it was pretty much at this moment that I knew that I was absolutely going to love this piece, mainly because of the juxtaposition of colors. Burntrap, Scraptrap, and Springtrap are all lots of green, but this bright orangey tan colors and the vibrant purple, it's an amazing little touch of color and throws everything off. But to me, I don't know. There's something about it. I can't put my finger on it, but I absolutely love the way it just comes off by comparison to the other three. It's like its own little section, and that little odd quirk is just enough for me to just want to keep pursuing this kind of mixture of characters, amalgamations, if you will. Or it's just why I love doing the 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 different styles, because you get these really cool characters that kind of create something brand new in a fun new way. I'm just going to finish up with some last minute color pencil work as we add all the nice little highlights and finish off the teeth, because every detail is important as we now move on to the final part, Burntrap. And I'm not really a fan of this design, and it's maybe just because in general I'm not a fan of skeletons or skeletal characters. Just it's something about them. I don't know. It's just the simplicity, the too much teeth. It's like a endoskeleton meets Springtrap wannabe. I don't know. There's sort of some details. There's sort of not, but I still create an image that I did overall like, and that's because of the amount of value that Burntrap has. And what I mean by that is there are tons and tons and tons of darks, so you can really pop in all those highlights and really punch in those colors to make the image just jump off the page. At this moment, it might look like it's ruined, but this is a part where I'll always say trust the process. As you can see, I've kind of done the same thing on each panel, and it's kind of worked out. But sometimes when we jump headlong into coloring and we kind of just throw the color out there, you can get nervous. You can be like, oh man, did I just destroy this thing? But you have to really just trust your artistic ability to say, no, I didn't. It's just part of the process, and you got to push forward. You got to start adding your highlights, and you got to start adding your shadows and midtones and other colors and etc. And then you just see the image start to slowly form more and more. And before you know it, you'll get the masterpiece that you love to have. But there is one thing I want to know before we wrap up this piece. Is this an image that you'd love to have? Which section do you love the most? And if you find this of any value to you, then please do me a favor, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button to let YouTube know that you really love everything that you've had seen in this video and that you want to see more of it. As always, thank you so much for stopping by, and as we wrap up, I shall see you all in the next video.